Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashion. I actually have a smile on my face because I love what I'm saying when it comes to some of the sports in Nigeria, some of the sporting federations we have in Nigeria. It's just for you to prepare well, it's just for you to know that all about sports science, and that is it. That is how to be a very good sportsman and sportswoman. I love what I'm seeing when it comes to Nigerian sports. Most usually, the ladies are making us proud in Nigeria. I cannot take that away from them. But this time around, I will not be talking about the ladies. First, let's look at this particular story where the Nigerian Cricket Federation has released the squad that will be participating in the T20 World Cup qualifiers, and it's a good one if you ask me. We just won the West African Trophy Tour hosted in Nigeria. These guys won all of their 10 games on the bounce without losing any, and now I think this same squad has been retained to actually participate in this T20 World Cup qualifiers, and they have been in camping. Immediately after that game, they went straight into a camping, and it's a good one. The likes of Namibia and the rest of them will be competing in this event. Now let's start. Sylvester Okpe, who's the captain of the side. We have Ademola Onikoyi, we have Sersan Adedeji, we have Chimele Udekwe, we have Daniel Ajekun, we have Joshua Asea, we have Ahere Isesele, we have Isaac Okpe. The two Okpes there, they are brothers. We have Peter Aho, we have Prosper Husseini, and we have Taiwo Muhammad, we have Isaac Danlade, we have Ridwan, the youngest among them, Ridwan Abkarim, we have Suleiman Runsewe, and we have Ashmit Sharishata. These are the names that have been released by the Nigerian Cricket Federation to represent the country at the T20 World Cup qualifiers that will come up in mid next year 2024. That is in June. Now I have Isaac joining me on the show again this evening. Isaac, welcome to the show. And for the Nigerian Cricket Federation, fantastic squad, the same squad that played at the West African Trophy Tour in Nigeria, where they won all of their 10 games, have been retained now to go and represent Nigeria in the T20 World Cup qualifiers.
Good evening, Emmanuel, and thank you for having me again. Good that continuity is sustained in that particular team, and because it's just few weeks ago that this particular West African tour was trophy tour was organized, and these guys did very well. They won 10 out of 10, unbeaten, and this shows that there's a spirit in that team. So you don't need to break that. And because we are looking at qualifying for the T20, for US and West Indies, we need to go with our best. And don't forget that Isaac Okpe was the most valuable player of that West African trophy, and is also still in the team. That's very impressive. A former Guinness World Cup holder for fastest bowling in terms of Peter Aho is also still in the team. So this shows you that this team is filled with talent. Our friends have gotten 10 out of 10, so that they can go to that particular qualifiers with Zimbabwe, Namibia, Kenya, Uganda, and some few other African countries, and get the tickets to qualify for the T20. And remember, just two countries rather, will be qualifying from these competitions, for this particular competition. I hope that the Yellow Grays will be able to get it, made up of a very wonderful team, and the coach, Tikakolo, who is also very, proud of this team and is willing to ensure that this team continues to make Nigeria proud. Remember, cricket is not our thing, but this time around we are investing in it, and gradually, who says one day we will not be a South African team?
Of course, who says one day will not be the South African team? Sincerely speaking, I love what the Federation is doing. Like the program is still on 1,000 cricketers from the street. That program is still going on in Akwa Ibom State, and they say before December this year, they will be wrapping up that program, and at the end of that program, 1,000 cricketers will be gotten from that region. That's the South, the Niger Delta region, and that is what the program is all about. And to tell you the truth, the person spearheading that is Blessing A-Team, the captain of the Yellow Greens for women, the women's team. She's the one spearheading that. And Nigeria has been ranked as one of the fastest growing country when it comes to cricket. We wish them well in these qualifiers. The squad that has been released is full of young lads with experience, and then the aging ones with experience. And let's see how they are going to fare in the qualifiers for the T20 World Cup that will be happening by June 2024. It's a good one. The qualifiers will be kickstarting a few weeks away from now. That qualifiers will be coming up right there. The likes of Namibia, Rwanda, Uganda, and the rest of Kenya are in these particular qualifiers, where the Yellow Greens also will be participating. You heard it from Isaac. 2 countries will be qualifying from the African region. Okay, let's leave the sports cricket now. Go straight to basketball. Over the weekend also, Rivers Hoopers of Port Harcourt emerged champions of the Atlantic Conference in the Nigerian Basketball Final 8 League, where the two top teams will now play a Final 4 at a later date and venue that has not been announced by the Nigerian Basketball Federation. They defeated Police Machine in that final game right there in Ondo State, that is in Akure. That is where the Atlantic Conference engagement was, and then the Savannah Conference also was in Abuja. But for the Rivers Hoopers, they did very well by winning the Atlantic Conference. Isaac.
Yes, River Hoopers, remember, they are 4-time Nigerian champions, and they have continued to prove that they are not just walkover. They are a team that can beat anybody at any time. And funny enough, remember, they didn't lost any of the games in that conference. And also in the finals against the Police team, they didn't start well. They started very badly, but in fact, they have to struggle back and eventually crash, by 70-46. So it's a huge basket margin. And for them, it's a good one and a right one in the right direction for them. And for the Hoopers, remember, they were playing the Final 4, and that is why I have problem. The Final 4 will be starting on the 19th of this month. And today is the 13th, yes, of November, and we still don't have a date, and we don't have a venue. It's not good enough. So they are going back to Port Harcourt. So if, for example, that will not be taking place in Niger, they will not start traveling back to Niger. So I believe before the end of that tournament conference, the Nigerian Basketball Federation have gotten a venue for them to Final 4.
Yes, before the end of hostilities in every other play, I think the federation will actually get a venue, though they are looking at staging it in Lagos. So let's see what the federation board members will come up with. But it's not good. Today is 13th. We just have 6 days away from now to that Final 4, where the winner will be representing Nigeria in the BAL Basketball League Africa. The last team that went there was Kwara Falcons, but they lost all their games, even the classification game at the competition. They didn't win any game at all. So let's see if Rivers Hoopers will emerge the overall champions of the Nigeria Basketball Men's League and then go represent us at the BAL Africa. 4 times champions of the Nigerian Basketball League. That is for Rivers Hoopers. Okay, let's still stay with basketball. Now let's go to the biggest franchise when it comes to basketball right there in the United States of America. There were games in the NBA. It has been going on well for all of the teams, for some of the teams in the NBA, the likes of Oklahoma City Thunders, Phoenix Suns, and the rest of them. They were in action. Let's have the NBA results. Let's look at some of the NBA results that happened. We have Miami Heat. They beat San Antonio Spurs 118-113. Dallas Mavericks defeated New Orleans Pelicans 136-124. And then Houston Rockets beat Denver Nuggets 107-104. And then Detroit Pistons lost to Chicago Bulls 108-119. And then Oklahoma City Thunder beat Phoenix Suns 111-99 points. Minnesota Timberwolves 116 points to Golden State Warriors 110 points. Minnesota winning that game. Portland Trail Blazers lost to LA Lakers 116 to 110. For LA Lakers, that win is a sigh of relief for them because they have been on a poor run of form. That is for the Los Angeles Lakers. Those are some of the NBA results that happened right there. It's called the biggest franchise in the world. And you know, when it is the NBA, that is one of the sports they love in America. We are also doing our own here in Nigeria. But outside football, basketball is the next biggest sport in the world when it comes to when you are talking about sports. So, but the likes of when you go to India, the biggest sport in India is cricket. Like Bangladesh, Pakistan, South Africa. When you come to South Africa, is rugby and cricket. Okay, let's leave the NBA and then talk about the run leather game. Let's go straight to the Italian Serie A. We'll go straight to Europe where there were games. It's just a pity for Napoli. Well, they've not been getting it easy since the beginning of the season right there in the Italian Serie A. Let's look at the results of matches in the Italian Serie A. Napoli, they lost at home to Empoli 1-0. Fiorentina beat Bologna 2-1. Udinese and Atlanta share the spoils. 1-1 they played out, and then Lazio and Roma also played out. That's a derby game. They played out a goalless draw, and the Inter Milan continue to dominate, continue to do well this season. They beat Frosinone, a team that got newly promoted to the Italian Serie A, 2-0 at the San Siro Stadium, where the home of Inter Milan. 2-0 ended against Frosinone in that particular encounter. Let's look at the table before Isaac Omidiji will react. Let's look at the Italian Serie A table for Inter Milan. They continue to stay at the top of the table after match day 12 with 21 points and 23 goal difference. Wow. It's a free scoring side. We have Juventus on the second position. They continue to rise with 29 points, having 12 goal difference. Look at the difference between the goal difference between Juventus and Inter Milan, massive one. AC Milan is on the third position with a lesser goal difference. They have 23 points. We have Napoli on the fourth position despite that loss at home, 21 points with 11 goal difference. We have Atlanta on the fifth position with 20 points, and then we have Fiorentina on the sixth position with 20 points. We have Roma on the seventh position with 18 points. We have Bologna on the eighth position with 18 points, and Monza is on the ninth position with 17 points. Lazio is on the 10th position with 17 points. Let's look at the flip side of the table. We have Torino on the 11th position with 16 points. Frosinone is on the 12th position with 15 points. Genoa is on the 13th position with 14 points. Lecce is on the 14th position with 14 points. We have Sassuolo on the 15th position with 12 points. Udinese is on the 16th position with 11 points. And Empoli is on the 17th position with 10 points. Cagliari 9 points, 18th position. Verona is on the 19th position with 8 points, and Salernitana they love this 20th position. That is where they were last season, struggling until they made it out of that place. They are on the 20th position with 5 points after 12 games. Isaac, for Inter Milan, they continue their dominance. They continue to stay at the top of the table after match day 12. Fantastic one for this team. They have 31 points. The team following them is Juventus with 29 points. What do you think about Inter Milan? And then you react to these two quickly. Napoli losing at home.
Yes, Inter Milan have continued to show stuff of champions. They've continued to show resilience and character as well. And that is very key in winning the title in Serie A. Juventus are getting rejuvenated. Can they win the league this season? I don't think so, but I think they will challenge for it. But for Inter Milan, I'm more confident with them because this team is playing compact and complete football. Very difficult to break down, and they are always having highs for goals. So it is a team that even without Romelu Lukaku, they're still doing extremely, extremely well. And I see them, losing the title themselves at the end of the season. But they are very good to go. And for Napoli, it's unfortunate. They remind me of a certain Leicester City in the EPL after winning the league. The next season, they couldn't really fight for it to defend it very well. And that was Empoli's second away victory this season. Empoli is currently 17th, or is it 17th, yes, on the log, beating a Napoli that is 4th on the log. And Napoli is 10 points short of Inter Milan, who are top of the league. So it's not really rosy for Napoli. Luis Garcia has not been able to help that team at all, and he has not been able to add anything positive to that team. And the fact that our own Osimhen has been in and out of the team due to injury has also not helped them very well.
Yes, has also not helped them very well, and that we know what has been going on. The off-field issues with Napoli and Victor Osimhen has not really been helpful. And for Rudy Garcia, well, he might be shown the exit door if not already, if not done already. Okay, let's leave the Italian Serie A and go straight to French Ligue 1. Well, it's a good one. It's a good news for the Super Eagles. It's a good news for Nigerian, though he lost that game in that particular fixture. For Moses Simon of Ligue 1, Nantes, they lost, but he was able to score in that particular game. And Moses Simon continued to do well after winning the Player of the Month for Nantes. Now he scored in that game, but they lost that particular encounter. Well, for me, getting the goal in that defeat is a good one for Moses Simon. Isaac, I don't know if you share the same opinion with me.
Yes, concerning the fact that he's even coming to camp, so he needs to have his confidence very high, and getting the goal is also very important. I'm looking forward to seeing Victor Moses coming back to his best. His best include assists, a lot of assists. He just doesn't score. He assists more than ever scoring. So I am expecting to see him back to his best, to see him doing that. And for the Super Eagles, this will be a moral boost. I'm also very happy for Tawa Woni, who also just returned from injury, also scoring over the weekend, and bringing all these into the team, into the camp of the Super Eagles will be a plus to us, especially if our IT coach will know how to utilize his players.
Why did you call him IT coach? I don't understand.
He's still learning, he's still experimenting, he's still learning the ropes. He has not even till now find his feet, and who will be his first 11 anytime, he can't even say it.
Okay, he can't even say it. Jose Pizarro will actually, he's listening to you. Well, he needs to go and upgrade. When you are an IT personnel, you always go for updates. So he will go for his own. He will need to go and upgrade. It's a good one. Well, for all of our players over the weekend in Europe, Moses Simon, Taiwo Awoniyi, Akko, and the rest of them, Paul Onuachu scoring fantastic goal in Turkey. Good one. It's good. Quickly, let's even mention about Paul Onuachu. Now, he got that goal, Puskas type of goal for his club. I was marveled about that goal. Now, what do you think about Paul Onuachu?
You see, I've been following him since he moved to Turkey, and what has always come to my mind is, go to where you can shine. Play among people that will allow you to be the Lord. And he has continued to be the Lord. He came to the EPL with so much hype from the Benja League, and it didn't work for him. It didn't even suit his pattern of play. Even the championship also didn't suit him. So now he has gone to Turkey and he scored the goals. Look at that wonderful goal. It's a contender for goal of the season anywhere.
Yes, of course. A Puskas kind of goal. Okay, let's go back to French Ligue 1. Let's quickly look at the table despite the defeat of Nantes. Let's look at where they are standing on the table. They are on the 8th position. Okay, let me take it from the 10th position to the 1st position now. Lens is on the 10th position with 13 points. Marseille is on the 9th position with 13 points and 0 goal difference. We have Nantes on the 8th position with -4 and 14 points. They lost their game, but still staying on the 8th position. Brest is on the 7th position with 15 points. We have Le Havre on the 6th position and -1 goal difference with 15 points. We have Luxley on the 5th position with 19 points. We have Reims on the 4th position with 20 points. Monaco is on the 3rd position with 24 points, and we have Nice on the 2nd position with 26 points. And PSG, Kylian Mbappe getting a hat-trick in that game, now at the top of the table with 27 points and 20 goal difference. Let's have the flip side of the table. Let's look at the flip side. Rennes is on the 11th position with 12 points and 1 goal difference. Montpellier is on the 12th position with 1 goal difference and 12 points. You will be asking Rennes and Montpellier having the same number of goal difference and points. Now, Rennes got that 12 points before Montpellier. That is why that position is like that. Strasbourg is on the 13th position with 12 points and -6 goal difference. Toulouse is on the 14th position with 11 points and -3 goal difference. Lorient is on the 15th position with -5 goal difference, 11 points. And then we have Metz is on the 16th position with 10 points and -8 goal difference. Clermont Foot is on the 17th position and -7 goal difference and having 6 points. And my Lyon, my dear and darling Lyon, is on the 18th position, still remaining there with 4 points after 10 games. It's not looking good for Lyon at all. They've dominated that league for so long. Isaac, well, I'm not laughing at Lyon. Let me not laugh at them, because there's something that we used to say, sometimes some changes happen in life, and time changes yesterday. That is what is happening to Lyon. I don't know, Isaac, if you are also laughing at them.
I'm not laughing at them, but it's strange to see Lyon on that position of the table for so long this season. I hope they were able to escape relegation, because that's the best thing they can achieve this season.
That is the best they can achieve this season, just to escape relegation. Okay, let's leave the French Ligue on and go straight. Now let's look at La Liga. There were actions also over the weekend in La Liga. Good matches for Barcelona. Lewandowski getting the brace in that particular game over the weekend, and it's a good one for Real Madrid. 5-1 against 2004 champions Valencia. Wow. Okay, let's look at the results of some games over the weekend. Barcelona beat Alaves 2-1. Brace from Lewandowski, Robert Lewandowski. Sevilla and Real Betis played out a 1-1 draw, and Atletico Madrid 3-1 against Villarreal. And then Rayo Vallecano, Girona continued to be stubborn. They beat Rayo 2-1 at home, and then Almeria lost to Real Sociedad 3-1, and then Granada and Getafe played out a 1-1 draw. Osasuna and Las Palmas also played out a 1-1 draw, and Real Madrid, Vini Jr. and Rodrigo getting a goal in that particular game. 5-1 against Valencia. Isaac, for Real Madrid, they beat Valencia 2004 champions 5-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu.
No doubt, Valencia have not been the team they've used to be, or a team that you can respect for now. The past 2-3 seasons have been very difficult for them, and they're still struggling. And for Real Madrid, you can't take that away from them. You know, even without a recognized world-class striker in quote, this team have continued to score goals. And to see the likes of Vini and Rodrigo, two young lads from Brazil, continue to take the pace behind Jude Bellingham is very impressive, and that you can get from an experienced coach like Carlo Ancelotti. We shouldn't take anything away from him. Some coaches will suffer with this team because there is no recognized in quote world-class striker, because they will not even know how to utilize those players up front, and they will continue to play like the way Manchester United are playing. But kudos to a coach like Carlo Ancelotti.
The way Manchester United are playing. We are not talking about Manchester United. They won their game over Luton over the weekend. Okay, let's leave that story. Let's look at the table for Real Madrid. Don Carlo is doing well with this young lad. Let's look at the way they are standing. Girona went back to the top of the table with 34 points after 13 games. And Real Madrid also have 32 points, occupying the second position. Barcelona is on the third position, now having 30 points. Atletico Madrid is on the fourth position with 28 points. Bilbao is on the 5th position with 24 points. Real Sociedad 6th position with 22 points, and Rayo Vallecano is on the 10th position with 18 points. Let's have the flip side of the table quickly. Let's look at the 20th position now. Almeria is there with just 3 points. Granada is on the 19th position with 7 points, and Celta Vigo is on the 18th position with 7 points. Also, Mallorca is on the 17th position with 9 points. Cadiz is on the 16th position with 10 points, and Getafe is on the 11th position with 16 points. Okay, quickly before we go on the show, let's look at this transfer story. It concerns in Nigeria. I'm happy if eventually goes to this team. Barcelona right now are keen on Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester City. We know that only Emmanuel Amunike sometimes ago played for Barcelona. If Ndidi goes to Barcelona, I think it's going to be a fantastic move for him. Isaac, I will not allow you to react to this story, but it's a good one for Wilfred Ndidi if eventually this deal goes through next summer. Isaac, thank you for joining me on the show this evening. It's been a wonderful time having you on Sports Update.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. See you again.
All right. That is it on Sports Update from Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashemi saying thanks for watching.